MrBeast!
I mean, because you have to understand, the mind of a billionaire, after a certain point, it changes. They're no longer, like, fully human. I mean, they're still, like, genetically human, right? Or, you know, biologically they're human. But the psychology that, like, when you're that disconnected from what actually gets done, you think, yeah, it just changes your brain. So anyway, these people are capable of really horrendous things, not because they're intrinsically bad, just because this is a horrible way to... This should not be possible. The human psyche cannot withstand these kinds of trauma. This kind of... I mean, I know it sounds weird to say that a billionaire is experiencing trauma, but they are. They're experiencing a very strange kind of social alienation trauma. And it's bad for them too. Everything is bad for everybody. So that's why you hate MrBeast. I'm not sure why. Wait, what? I do not hate MrBeast. But yes, what he does is terrible. 100%. The thingy that helps with cataracts, he had made no contribution to. Well, okay, so before the eye thing, he's a terrible... He does terrible things, but I don't hate him. Like, I want him to not be in his position because it's ruining his brain. And it's ruining the rest of our lives. But, so to be more specific, with not the general thing, like, MrBeast is generally terrible. With the new cataract thing, he's basically an attribution vacuum. He took credit for a thing he had nothing to do with, that already received government funding and was going to be doing what it did, that he took credit for anyway, and he still took credit for it. And he had the creepiest thumbnail. He like has his hand on a little kid's shoulder, and the little kid is crying, and like he has the creepiest smile. It was terrible. But anyway, everything about him is terrible. But the terrible thing about this is that he had absolutely nothing to do with it. And it wasn't curing blindness, it was like a cataract thing. Everything was deceitful about the way he put it. His involvement in everything is incredibly, like, just... It distracts from reality. Yeah, I could go on a real long rant about MrBeast, but I don't want to. Isn't MrBeast the guy who gives out money or something? No, he makes people play monkey, and then he gives them money. So basically, he's like, you do this thing for me, and then I'll give... Well, I mean, that's basically how everything is in society. So he's just like an amplified video-producing version of that. But it's basically like monkey dance, and then I give you all this cash that my position allows me to give you. And money is not even real. Like, it doesn't do anything. So it's like taking credit for illusory fictional things. Okay, yeah, I would have to, like, start from the beginning, and I don't want to do that. And is the money making them go corrupt? No, so money is just a stand-in for the ability to control what other people do with their time and labor. Money isn't real. It was made up, basically to control people. Not intentionally. It was a way for... It was not involved in bartering. That's a myth about money. No people who, like, bartered way back when, and, like, bartering is not the only alternative to not having money. But, so the myth goes that people a long time ago... So, that was how money came to be. It was basically a way to maintain a certain person in power. And it was a way, because... You know, they could have collection schemes for money. They could control the issuance of money and all that kind of stuff. So the problem is that it was made up from the beginning. We're all born into the world thinking that it's real, but it's not. The real things are done by real people in the real world. I don't actually hate the individual human being, whatever his real name is, who calls himself MrBeast. I don't hate that guy. But I hate he does terrible things, which I am, like, compelled to oppose. Jimmy Donaldson. Yeah, Jimmy Donaldson, I'm sure, is a fine human being. but his brain has been warped by the system into which he was born and the position that he has attained within that system. And he's not of value to the rest of us as a fellow human being. He himself doesn't do anything that contributes to any positive change within our group. But he does take credit for having done such things, which he is able to do as a consequence of his position and the way the rest of us view his position. Being against a thing doesn't necessarily innately mean that you hate it. That is another cognitive bias that we receive in the society that we exist in right now, is that if you don't like something, it means that you hate it, right? Personally disagree, but to each their own. But what about his philanthropy, which feeds It does not. That is the myth. That is the myth, Edo. His philanthropy is made up. It is a fiction. It is a fiction of a structure, a system of social relations that people experience who live in the society. He does nothing. He is an emblem, or like a sigil. A symbol to which you are meant to direct your attention. But he himself does not contribute materially in the real world that we actually inhabit. He does not himself contribute positively at all to these things. What he does in his position is he selects between things which he deems worthy of increasing his prestige within the society by him showing his virtuosity, his virtue in supporting. So by him selecting where to divert the funds that have been diverted to him, he controls the relative importance of things, like where resources that we collectively make available through our collective activities as a species. He decides where those things are diverted through this, this mythical object that we call money, right? So he has the money, and then but he doesn't actually do anything. So he sits there, He's a diverter of this fictional material, which directs the activities of others, or like requisitions or rations. So yeah, MrBeast himself eats food and breathes air and uses his vocal cords to produce sounds and exists within a society in a position in which he can take credit for things which others have done. He does not do anything beyond that, I'm afraid. That's the fullest extent. So is that part of him not good? Okay, so I will give you this. It's better that he is a person with a lot of money who does this rather than, invest, I guess, in more weapons or something. Like, all of his stock options are in the manufacture of things which directly are intended to kill other humans, right? I mean, there are worse. He could be worse, but he's very terrible. Yo, Shaz. Came out of hiding, huh? Well, welcome back. Long time no see. So, wait. So when did you find out about this? Are you in the Discord? So these are children, right? Are we aware? I think all of these people involved in this are kids. Okay, I can't. Well, I mean, there's one person really that's doing all of it, right? And they're like high school kids. They put a lot of significance on things that happen online, right? They've lived their entire lives, feeling like things online are really important or whatever, right? So, I mean, I understand, like, where the impulse comes from. For me, from my perspective, from my life, I don't understand like where the inclination or even the time comes from. But I mean, you know, things are different, like, right? For kids these days, I'm an old timer. It's not a big deal. I don't like, yeah. Well, I mean, it's not a big deal for me. I think for them, it's well, for the person who started it, it's, well, okay, so what's going on with them? Okay, it's Edo. Edo started it. I think he's probably fine with it, because he's been messaging people, so everyone knows that it was Edo. But yeah, so recently, so he's been taking classes online, right? Someone do something similar when I was streaming. It came out of left field and I was shocked by it, but I just ended up removing the person from my channel and Discord and stuff. Yeah, I mean, I did that. I mean, Nate is back in because he asked to be back in. I mean, that was the person... Well, so Sam was also doing it. I actually can't remember what Sam's name is on Discord. Anyway. I don't want these kids to get the impression that I'm okay with that at all. I want them to have some pushback against that so that they don't get in the habit of that and it's just like, oh, it's just funny, casual, you know, haha. I'm not affected by it. Although I think Nate kind of did apologize, so I mean that's one of the reasons why I let him back in, but I mean he's kind of on thin ice, but I don't know how to get through to these kids about like the difference between having your feelings hurt and doing something that basically supports an ongoing, you know, kind of dehumanization campaign of whole groups of humans. So yeah, that's just where I stand. Other people's issues isn't your problem. You don't need to apologize for other people's stupid things. Yeah, exactly. Like I'm just gonna keep doing it. If they want to keep watching, I mean, a lot of the people that honestly have been commenting hardly ever watch, like Sam. Or no, not Sam. I don't remember what their name is. I guess Edo was also like leaking information about me, or like, and so one of my mods, Snazzy, was telling me that she thought he might be trying to dox me or something. I haven't checked all the stuff that he's been doing. Some of it might actually require me to act upon it, but really, I don't think that they don't have the capacity to harm me. I don't know that they know this or not. I know they desperately, because I don't know, they've just learned this, and they're kids, right? So they don't really have much power in their lives, so they want to be able to exert some power and influence over their lives. They've never had control over much of anything. So, I mean, this is one way I guess they would perceive they could do that. But like, they don't realize that I didn't do anything that transgresses against anything that they could have some higher authority put me in trouble for, right? Like, I didn't do anything that goes against any terms of service. To be honest, I don't care what Twitch thinks. They're kind of a white supremacist platform anyway, because they think that calling someone a cracker is equivalent to other slurs, when that, I mean, I don't even know. The video has my full name. Well, I should check to see if it's even accurate. I haven't checked it. I mean, my full name is fine. I don't think that's a problem. I'm surprised. Did you guys both watch the video? I haven't even watched it yet. So I mean, they could make my life a little bit more difficult, but it would only be my online life. So that's not that big of a problem, considering there's, you know, this whole real world thing.